Here we can see the account login screen of Console Connect, where I'll enter my username and password and click continue. And navigating along the dashboard section, we can see here I've got a view to my ports, my connections, internet on demand, and any other. Navigating over to MeetingPlace, we can see here the ability to search across the ecosystem of participants in Console Connect, whether that be an X as a service, or as a unified communications as a service, or even a large cloud provider. This is quite a sophisticated search capability here. So for example, I can search for data centers that may be available to me in Singapore. And we can see here the Singapore Internet Exchange, data centers are available in Singapore to connect to, and other points across the platform. There's a settings section where I can see my personal details, change my password, configure alert settings, or navigate to my company's profile page. Continuing along the top navigation, there's a pricing calculator where I can get price reports, connections, internet on demand, and get an estimate of the final price in real time. There's a frequently asked question, how-to videos, contact information, a section where I can see chats with other community members and alerts as they occur on the platform. But the primary part of the application sits here within a different side menu, and if we can expand that, we can see we're in the Network tab where I've got ports and connections. Navigating to ports, we can see we've got the option to view all ports, add new ports, pricing, a sheet that describes the specifications, help center, and terms and conditions. But clicking now on View All, we can see a list of all the ports that we have active on the platform. Clicking on one of these, we can see that we can get additional details and actually take actions on the port that we have available to us. So from here, I can see my port utilization. I can see any connections that I provisioned on the port. I can see a summary of all the information, such as available VLANs, the speed that's configured, and even the media type that's being used to connect to this port. The primary section of the application, though, is here under connections. So again, we can view all of our connections, add new, look at pricing, specifications for connections, for example. I'm going to click on View All, and we can see here we have no connections configured yet. So let's go ahead and create a connection. I'm going to do that by clicking on this Add Connection icon. See here we can connect to cloud providers, carriers and internet exchange providers, other participants on the platform, or create connections between my port. For the purposes of this demonstration though, we'll go ahead and make a connection through to Amazon. The journey begins by selecting a source port. I'm going to choose my port that I have in Hong Kong in the Mega data center, and I'm presented with a series of connection options. I connect either using a plan, or I can connect with pay-as-you-go. For the purpose of the demonstration, I'll choose pay-as-you-go. I click Next, and then I'm presented with an option to enter my AWS account ID. I'll just jump over here and copy that account ID, bring it back to the application and enter it into this field here. We can see my source port, and from there I can navigate to all the different AWS regions that are available for connectivity from the application. So I'm going to make a connection from Hong Kong through to London. I can choose my bandwidth. In this case, I'm going to choose 100 megabits, and we can see that aligns to the different tiers of connectivity that are available to AWS Direct Connect. I can auto-assign a VLAN, and I can choose a duration, perhaps one of the key components of the platform. I can connect for a day, a week, a month, or a year. Let's say, for example, I'm just testing out connectivity using Direct Connect to my virtual private cloud, so I'm going to choose connectivity for 1 day. I click Next. Now presented with the option to have a look at pricing. I can either pay by credit card, or I can pay by invoice. For purposes of the demonstration, I'm going to pay by invoice, accept those terms and conditions, and click Connect. What happens now is Console Connect will begin to call the API provided by AWS, and using that account ID that I provided earlier, we'll be calling into AWS to say, this customer with this account ID wants to make a connection from Hong Kong through to London, and you'll shortly see that this toast message will change, and we'll be notified to go and log into the Amazon portal and accept that connection for security and privacy reasons. Let's now have a look at some of the other types of connections that we can do, and perhaps one of the most exciting ones is the ability to create a connection to other users of the platform. And for example, that could be a SaaS application. So I'm going to search. And here we can see that provider. They're a service provider. I'm going to click more to have a look at them. And we can see here that they've got a number of destinations that they're available for connection. So I'm going to go ahead and click Connect. Again, the journey begins by choosing a source port, so using the same port that I'm using to provide connectivity through to one of the cloud providers. I'm going to use the same port, and I'm going to again choose to pay as you go. Click Connect, click Next. And here we can see I've got a number of choices as to where I want to interconnect with this SaaS application provider. I'm going to make a connection again this time through to Frankfurt, where I know that they're located. Again, I can choose a VLAN. Rate limit, I'm going to ask for 50 megabits per second, and I'm only using this SaaS application for a short period of time, so I'm going to say I want to connect for a month. And here we can see the deep integration between the physical network aspects of the Console Connect platform and the social network part of the Console Connect platform. So I'm going to chat to the network provider or the network manager at the other end of this application and go and say, hello, I am a user of your SaaS application and I would like to be directly connected. And click Send. Now I'm going to go ahead and click Next. So we can see here we've got the same terms and conditions, but before I click Connect, we can see here we've received a notification. I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, I've received a response in saying, yes, please submit your request. I'm going to go ahead and submit that connection request. Great, and I've got the ability to name that one, and we're going to call it SaaS Application Connection. And when that's received and accepted at the other end, that circuit will be provisioned. So one of the other key components of the platform, of course, is this ability to connect to data centers. So in this instance, let's say, for example, I'm a CIO and I have workloads in Hong Kong and I'm doing some backup into Singapore. So I'm going to choose Hong Kong as my source port and choose to pay by pay-as-you-go. Click Next, and now I get to choose a port that I have already on the platform. I've got a port already provided for me that I've provisioned in Equinix. Again, I can choose to auto-assign the VLANs. A rate limit, I'm doing a pretty large transfer of data, so I'm going to do a 500 megabits. I'm confident I'll be able to get the transfer done within a week. So I'm going to choose to do that for a week, and I click Next. Here we can see that we're going to get presented with the pricing, so it's $180 for 1 week connectivity, and we say, well, that's quite reasonable. Let's see what the price is if it's 2 weeks. We can see here the price is automatically updated in real time. I'm going to go ahead and choose to pay by invoice, accept those terms and conditions, and click Connect. And because there's no other parties involved, and we're not making a call to a public cloud provider or to a SaaS application, we've got the ability for this to be provisioned quite quickly, and we'll call that one a Connect to Self. If we continue to navigate down the side menu system here, though, we can see that the platform also has two other options that are available to me. One of them being Internet on Demand, and the other being Internet of Things. So let's have a look at Internet on Demand. Here we can see we have some services that we'd like to provision. So I'm going to go ahead and click Internet on Demand. Journey is very similar, so I'm going to choose that same port where I've now provisioned connectivity to Amazon. I've provisioned connectivity to a SaaS application. I'm now also going to go and provision connectivity to the internet. So I can choose either private ASN or public ASN. And for the purpose of the demo, I'm going to pick private. I'm going to name this Internet on Demand demo. I'm going to use probably 50 meg of capacity to connect to the internet. I can choose the private ASN can be auto-assigned. Prices are being updated in real time, and because I'm new to this service, I'm saying I'm only going to try this one for a week. What we'll see again, pricing is updated in real time. Great. And then if I needed to, I could also procure public IP address spaces. For purposes of the demo, I'm going to accept the /28, which gives me 16 IP. I'm going to go ahead and review those service configurations. I've got my source port. I've chosen dynamic routing and private ASN. I've named my service, it's 50 megabits per second. I'm going to have a /31 IPv4 address space allocated to me automatically. I'm going to now move on to the payment section. As we've seen previously, choice of pay by credit card or pay by invoice. Going to accept the terms and conditions and create service. And within a few minutes from this single port that we have in Hong Kong, we'll have provision connectivity through to Amazon, through to a SaaS application and through to a data center in Singapore and also through to the public internet. This screen will be completed with those details after the provisioning has been completed, but let's come back and have a look at all of our layer 2 connections. So we can see how that application that we had requested earlier is now pending acceptance for the AWS connection. The SaaS application is pending acceptance from the other end, and our connection itself is now active. That's that service that we'd provisioned from Hong Kong to Singapore earlier. We can see here that we can flex the bandwidth up and down, so if I needed to increase the rate limit, I can do that in real time, have the pricing increase automatically shown to me. I can see all of the various parameters such as the VLAN on the source port and the destination port. I can see the telemetry of the traffic. I can see my confirmation of my details, and I can see all of the logs about that service provisioning. Going back to the dashboard now, and we can see here that that's been added to my list of connections that I can see, and returning to the MeetingPlace, we can see all the different types of applications that we can see here, and quite a sophisticated navigation system so that you can find ecosystem partners such as cloud service providers that you may wish to connect to, or providers of database services, for example. All of this here in that navigation system under MeetingPlace.